Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Virtue's Last Reward part. Oh, I actually looked it up before I started. Is this part 7, I think? I don't exactly remember because it's been 2 months since I recorded the last video. Because I kind of mentioned in the very first part, this is just going to be a series I record kind of whenever. And basically I'm only recording it now because I can't record anything else because I developed carpal tunnel over or something akin to it in the last like week or so, and my right hand is in a brace. I can take it off, and I mean I can move my hand and everything, but I'm gonna try and record this with my left hand since it's basically just click lol. So if my mouse movements seem hella awkward, that's why, because I'm using it with my non-dominant hand. Like, this just feels weird, but hopefully it'll work. I think that's basically just the main disclaimer is that I can't use my hand, and it sucks. God, I've been so bored the past few days because I can't do anything in my free time. It's very bad.
There's
But
something. Nah, I guess there's a couple of things I want to double check.
I figured I can, at least record this, at least get something somewhat productive done. So basically, from what I remember, is we did this laboratory thing, and then Dio stopped us from leaving because reasons.
Well, one of them's not really significant, I guess.
Another thing is that since it's been 2 months since I recorded this, I didn't exactly remember how I had the audio set up, so hopefully it's okay. Not entirely sure, but.
Huh?
Huh? God, Clover.
First off, this machine. We didn't even end up using this thing, did we?
I do remember that. I think I remember something about those machine we never used, and it confused me.
I was just wondering what it was.
Well, I'm not sure I'm supposed to answer that. Also, it's so fucking hot. It's 98 degrees and 85% humidity. I could actually just melt. Look at the side here. There's a name or something. IG Replicator.
Replicator makes it sound like it makes copies of stuff.
God, you're so smart, Clover. So it's like a copy machine?
Yeah,
Well, no.
probably copies IG, whatever that is.
I mean, I can't disagree with her. Any ideas?
Who knows? Ice cream by the gallon?
One problem with this brace is also that, because it's effectively 100 fucking degrees, is that it sweats like crazy. This machine must be here so we can make all the ice cream we want. Are you nuts? You're one idiotic girl, you know that. Can I make the text speed faster, by the way? Is that a thing I can do? Because it feels hella slow. I think you have to do it on the main screen, if at all, so we're just gonna deal with it.
Oh, good one.
Hey, this isn't the time for stupid jokes.
Okay, it's like actually bothering me. Here's what we do. We save, we quit to title screen. Yes, don't quit the entire game. Options, cursor speed, text, skip text, no? Okay, there's no option to make the text faster. Cool, good to know. At this rate, I'll be pretty used to, I'll be dang proficient by using my left hand, for mouse movement.
There's a helpless child back there in the infirmary who needs our help.
Oh, what's his name? I don't remember. What? Quark. That's it. Yeah, because he like got infected or something. He was right, of course. I hung my head in shame.
At any rate, as long as we don't know what IG means, we can't do anything with this machine, right?
Also, I've forgotten his name is Dia. So one thing I will admit is that in the past few days, since I can't do anything, I did start watching that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure show, and Dio is a pretty main character, very memeable character. So that's gonna be on my mind now. I've been watching that the past few days. I think I'm on the third part. I'm like several episodes in. It's not bad, I mean, I've exclusively started watching it just to understand all the memes basically because I see them constantly on Reddit, and like for like after about 3 years of not getting them, I finally decided, hey, I'll watch it just to get the references, if nothing else.
That's right.
Even though I'm not really a, you probably wouldn't guess it, but I'm not really big on anime.
Makes
despite
sense.
how many, despite what it is we are playing right here and how many other JRPGs I play, but
On to the second issue.
basically about once a year I'll watch some anime. Like I'll have like a little binge session for a couple weeks, and then that'll be it. And then I won't touch it again for 12 to 18 months.
Sigma, you found a journal and some sort of vial in the safe, right?
Yeah.
The vial. Could you show it to me again?
Why?
I didn't really get a good look at it before.
I don't trust you.
You guys were in there so close I could barely see it. Was it really Excelavir?
Well, yeah, that's what it said on the bottle. Or vial, whatever. As I spoke, I pulled the vial out of my pocket. See? It's written right there on the label. Excelavir. Is that what he said?
You really are an idiot.
What? Huh?
Although I guess in this case the G in IG stands for guy.
Idiot guy? I don't... The words are barely out of my mouth when he moved. Before I could blink, the vial disappeared from my hand. Hey, what gives?
What are you doing?
Dio slipped the vial quickly into his coat.
Oh, don't worry. I'll keep it safe. I'll even give it back to you later.
No, not later. Give it back now.
I don't think so. If you want it back, you're gonna have to listen to my request.
Just punch him.
Request?
Yeah, that's what I said. If you want this back, in the next AB game, you have to choose ally.
But won't he just betray us then? So wait, we're paired up with Clover, right? Ally? Wait, is that what you took the medicine to blackmail me?
That's horrible! You're using Quark's life as leverage!
Well, I've got some really good reasons to do so. I'll be happy to give it back if you just do what I say.
I mean, he doesn't really have that much leverage, right? Because we just go into the main room and say, hey, Dio's got the antidote, and he's holding it hostage. And then, I don't know, Machine terminates him. Mr. Terminator takes him out. I didn't realize until they started to hurt that I'd curled my hands into fists. See, I can't do that right now because there's a brace. If Dio would only give me an opening.
I wouldn't try and take it back by force if I were you. You make any sudden moves and I'll smash it.
Patted his pocket gently.
Oh, and one more thing. Don't tell those other idiots that you found some Excelavir in here. I hear one word about it, and the next thing you hear will be little bits of glass shattering on the floor.
But I mean, didn't they just murder him? Like, he doesn't really have any real leverage here.
That's not fair!
This game isn't about compassion. It's not about being clever.
You think Tim Myoji won't old man rage him to death?
It's about one thing. How well you can manipulate people to your advantage. How unfair you can be. So, what are you gonna do? Ready to promise me you'll pick ally?
But if he betrays us, we just die, right? Because I do remember that we're at 1 BP right now because I think is it Tim Myoji betrayed us? Surprised I remember so much considering like the very first videos of this were recorded like 6 months ago.
Sigma!
Oh, I knew you'd say it eventually. I'm glad you understand how this works. But don't think about trying anything funny. Break your promise and, well, you know what happens. See you chumps later. I'm really looking forward to the next round.
With one last self-satisfied chuckle, Dio strutted out of the room.
Are you really going to do what he says?
Yeah.
Sigma, You've only got 1 BP right now.
I mean, what are they gonna do? Kill me?
If we choose ally and he chooses betray,
And as you may remember from the first Zero Escape, that is very much an option. It is not afraid to kill you. I'll drop to -1, and that means I'll get penalized.
but that means
Look, it's not like I want to, alright? If we don't do as he says, then he'll destroy the medicine. If he does that, then Quark will...
so you're going to die to save his life?
Well, I mean, we haven't committed to anything yet.
That's... Why would you do that?
Okay, because some of us aren't massive pieces of shit. Clover. We know your murderous tendencies. In all honesty, I was terrified. My choice was far from a foregone conclusion. Well, we should get back to the upper floor. Everybody else is probably finished already. I bet they're waiting for us. I didn't wait for Clover's response. I mean, like, I still think we're in a pretty decent position, right? Because, like, if he smashes the stuff, then he'll get murdered, right? But even then, I mean, if he betrays us, then he's, like, you know, murdering us, right? Like, I don't think everyone else will accept that, you know? Because, I mean, what's good with getting to 9 BP when everyone's just gonna kill you for doing it, you know? At least I would hope somebody wouldn't, you know, let us die without any, you know, recompense? I don't know what word I'm looking for. God, these transition scenes are so fucking long. They're like one of the main, like my main grievance with this game is that the transitions are so long.
An ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
That's really long. Wasn't it like 5 minutes last time?
Sorry. I went ahead and cracked it open a bit early.
Dio. In one of his hands was a moon key. He twirled it around like a veteran gambler, grinned, and slid it back into his pocket.
You don't mind, right? I figured you and Clover would get up here right away. Besides, I thought it'd be best to get this done soon before you lose your nerve. I don't know about you, I'm really looking forward to the next round.
I glanced around the warehouse. Alice and Kay were back, as was Phi. And of course, Clover. Wait, who are we missing? Oh, Timioji and Luna?
They're in the infirmary.
And well, Quark.
We carried Quark to one of the beds. Tenmyoji and Luna are looking after him.
How's he doing?
Well, it's hard to say. He seems to be sleeping soundly, but beyond that, there's really no way to know.
No change then, huh?
Right.
So what was your room, Sigma?
It's a laboratory. We got to mess with frogs and shit.
Is that so?
Did it look like the kind of place where they'd be researching viruses and DNA and those kinds of things?
Maybe.
Yeah, it did.
Was there any of that Excelivir?
Don't tell those other idiots that you found some Excelivir in here.
I'm really glad we got a flashback for that thing we saw, oh, I don't know, 7 minutes ago?
I hear one word about it, and the next thing you hear will be little bits of glass shattering on the floor.
My eyes flickered to Dio for a moment. No, nothing. Beside me, Clover bit her lip.
I see.
So, how'd it go with you? Find anything interesting? Phi only shook her head. With unison of movement that almost looked choreographed. Alice and Kay shrugged.
Where does that leave us? We've still got about 40 minutes left until voting ends.
What are you gonna do?
I'm a little curious about that lab you found. I thought I might go take a peek at it.
Okay.
I'll show you the way then.
Knock herself out. Clover, tell her. Save us.
That would be wonderful.
I think I'll go have a look at the room Alice Kay and Tenmyoji found. Never know. Maybe you missed something. Perhaps there's some Excelavir hidden somewhere in there.
Ah ha ha. What a bastard.
Then I shall take you there.
What about you two?
I mean, Kay, if you want to go all killer death robot, now would be a pretty good time.
Where are you going?
Sorry, I can't click. I was drinking water and I only have, the one hand as previously mentioned. Well, I think I'll start by heading over to the infirmary to see how Quark's doing.
Then I will too.
Glad that's settled.
She nodded to Clover and they disappeared through the magenta door. See, I know my colors. Gosh, I'm so smart. Dio and Kay followed a few steps behind. So are we by ourselves again? Oh no, we're with Phi. Okay then, we're being held hostage.
Hold on. Show me that journal first.
What journal?
Dio told me about it. He wouldn't tell me anything about the lab except that you found a journal with, his words, some sort of bullshit language. He said you had it, so I was hoping I could take a look.
I don't remember getting a journal, but I guess we did. Yeah. One sec. I dug the journal out of my pocket and handed it to Phi. She began to flip through the pages, her eyes quickly scanning each one.
This is Latin.
Okay, nerd. Latin? You mean you can read it?
Yeah, with time and a dictionary.
Well, we don't really have much of either. So in other words, no.
Pardon me for not being able to translate a dead language on the fly. This looks like some kind of research log. It's not going to be some sort of, I took the dog for a walk today.
Why is the writer a robot?
It was nice kind of stuff. I can understand a little of it, mostly conjunctions and things like that. But most of these words I've never even seen before.
Dude, who writes in Latin in the year 20 whatever? This is like even the future too. Latin's an even deader language than it is now. Then suddenly she stopped.
Wait. I can read this one. Page 216. This isn't research notes. It looks like a personal entry.
What's it say?
Don't rush me. This is gonna take a minute.
Well, we got about 40, so. Okay.
Interesting. All right, I think I got it. It looks like they're talking about Radical 6.
Okay. Well, why are they talking about that?
Not sure. Let me read it to you. Keep in mind I'm paraphrasing.
Ooh, the spooky music. When the body is infected with radical sins, the processing speed of the brain is reduced. If we assume the brain currently operates on a one-to-one basis with regards to time, Radical 6 reduces this to 1 square root of 1/6, or approximately 1 to 0.408. Math. Ugh. This means that each second that passes outside, the patient feels only 0.4 seconds have passed inside. Therefore, when 1 second has passed inside, approximately 2.5 seconds, or the square root of 6 seconds, have passed outside. In other words, when 10 seconds passes in the real world, a patient infected with Radical 6 would feel as if only 4 seconds have passed. This is why the virus has been termed Radical 6. Oh, I get it. Radical is another term for what we know as the root operation, the function inverse to the Okay, please stop. In a less mathematical sense, it can also be used to refer to something that is extreme or severe. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually developed a powerful urge to commit suicide. so they become a millennial. Ah! The exact cause of this is unclear, and although there is no yet direct link between suicidal urges and the reduction in mental processing speed, many believe that they are not unrelated. Those infected with Radical 6 perceive the world to be moving at a fever pitch, as if it were a video cassette being fast-forwarded. For instance, although the patient believes that only 10 seconds have passed, in fact, 24.5 seconds have passed. Given this increased speed of input, maintaining the ability to observe and reason would become a Herculean task. One theory holds that the disparity in time perception causes the brain to become flooded with massive amounts of information, unable to keep up. It begins to fail. Whatever the case, whatever. I mean, both words work there, technically. Whatever the cause, the infected invariably attempts to take their own lives, which is arguably the most terrifying. Yeah, I don't really think it's arguably. Who's like, it's not the wanting to kill yourself that's the bad part. It's the fever. Research suggests that a targeted antiviral could kill or at least disable Radical 6, but we have been unable to develop one. It seems our best hope now is to harvest antibodies from someone with a natural immunity to the virus. Thus far, however, we've been unable to locate a suitable subject, so I have continued my effort to discover an alternative means of treatment. Given my current rate of progress, I predict that we have a workable treatment within a day. Okay, well, everybody's gonna be dead by then, so... The bodies of the dead from the suicide are piled up along the roads leading in and out of town. The entire area reeks with the stench of decay, and the sky is filled with the constant buzzing of flies. At times, their swarms are so thick that when one passes, it feels as if a cloud has gone over the sun. Every day I see more crows and rats are everywhere feeding on the dead. They don't feel, well, I guess they do technically feel the dead, but they also eat them, which is probably, arguably, the most important part. Ironically, the only healthy-looking creatures are the stray cats who have grown fat from a plentiful rodent diet. The few humans who survived the outbreak have been locked away by the government in underground shelters. I don't know how many were saved, but I fear only a handful. Apparently she can read a whole hell of a lot more Latin than she initially let on. Their survival is the only hope that remains for this human race. Oh Lord, please, let their future be a bright one. Well, that's depressing. That is a lot of information. So now we know what the virus does to you, though. If you get infected, your brain slows down by the root of 1/6. That's, what, about 40%?
That isn't the important part.
Yes, the one to kill yourself.
Those infected by Radical 6 eventually...
Yeah, I just read that. You don't need to repeat me. That would explain why Quark was, well, trying to kill himself.
There are two other things in here that worry me. First, the part about how they haven't managed to develop a treatment for it yet. What do you make of that?
Yeah, because, I mean, if we know the Wait, how do we know the Accelavir treats it again? I don't actually remember how we know that. What am I supposed to make of it? Maybe they hadn't found out when this journal was written. I mean, from what we know, there's a drug called Accelavir that cures it.
Exactly. But in the journal it says it might take 20 years to make something like that.
Well, hold on a second. I'm getting confused. When was this thing even written?
December 29th.
December 29th?
No year.
Oh, of course. Well, there's no way to say it was written this year.
Yeah, probably not. Anyway, moving on. The second concern I have is about the underground shelters it mentions. The newspaper article said something about quarantining people too. After we read it, we all thought the same thing. What if this was one of those quarantine facilities? But this journal seems to suggest the opposite. The few humans who survived the outbreak have been locked away by the government in underground shelters.
Yeah, so it's not, you're not quarantining the sick people, you're quarantining the healthy people. You're trying to say that this place might be one of those underground shelters? Which would mean we're all supposed to be uninfected? We would have been thrown in here to keep us safe.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way to say for sure at this point, but it seems possible.
But Quark's been infected, right?
Then maybe the virus got in somehow.
That would be bad.
Just think about it for a minute. If this is one of those shelters, a lot of things start to make sense.
See, one thing I forgot about recording this series is that I feel really weird, like I'm talking to the fucking computer. I mean, like, even more than normal. You know, since, you know, the main character doesn't have a voice actor.
Maybe we've been here for a long time. Like, maybe they put us to sleep somehow. Made us sleep for years, maybe even decades. While we were sleeping, the pandemic that the newspaper article talked about happened, and whoever had this journal made this entry.
And then once the antiviral treatment was finished, they woke us up.
Right.
But why?
It's all just speculation, but
Why couldn't they just let us out? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, it seems like a pretty plausible scenario, but we were all captured before the pandemic started, right?
yeah.
And how would they have put us to sleep for that long? How would they have known to do that? But most importantly, why the hell are we playing the Nonary game if the point of this place is to save us? Throwing a bunch of people into a game that might kill them is a pretty weird way to protect them from a pandemic. I do wish the text speed was faster. There may be an option to change it, I just can't find it. If it was just slightly faster, it would be all good.
Yeah, you're right.
See?
We don't have enough information to make any real conclusions. I think we should see if we can find anything else.
She fairly finished speaking before she took off with a magenta door. Hey, weren't you coming to the infirmary with me?
Changed my mind.
Okay, well,
You can tell me about Quark later.
we're all alone again. And with that, she was gone. Never to be seen again. Not actually. Let out a long, tired sigh and started off towards the infirmary.
He seems to be stable, as far as I can tell.
Still sleeping.
Mind if I have a look?
Please, go ahead.
Yep, he's asleep alright. The journal and the thing Fiat and I talked about would definitely need to be addressed, but for the moment, AV game is what I need to concentrate on. Lives are at stake. Mine. And Quark's. I mean, you just, like... I mean, I guess we have to ally, right? Because even if we betray and we don't die, which, I mean, betray means we won't die, right? But at the same time, on like a karmic level, the game can't let you get away with killing a child, or at least making a decision that would, in theory, lead to the death of a child. So, I feel like we gotta ally. The journal was telling the truth, and as soon as the anesthetic wore off, Quark would go insane again. What if we weren't able to restrain him a second time? What if he managed to kill himself before we got to him? Or perhaps he'd just get out of the infirmary and go hide somewhere. On the other hand, it wasn't like we could keep we couldn't keep him asleep forever. Words. Unfortunately, Dio had stolen it. If we wanted to get it back, Clover and I would have to vote ally. But if I did, there was an excellent chance I would end up dead. Sacrifice myself to save Quark? Or keep quiet about the danger he was in to save myself? It was so faint I almost didn't hear it.
Grandpa. Grandpa.
Oh, they're tugging on the heartstrings. He shifted a little and then fell silent. It was enough, though. What on earth had I been thinking? How could I have even considered letting a child die in my place? Suddenly my cheeks felt hot with embarrassment and disgust. That I'd considered letting Quark die even for a minute was pathetic. There was only one choice. There had only ever been one choice. No way was I going to leave Quark to die. My hands tightened in a fist as I looked down at him. Any uncertainty I'd felt before was gone. I knew what I had to do. Okay, so it feels like the game's really telling you, hey, you better
10
ally your
minutes
dick.
remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Why do they
All
always wait
players,
until the
please
last
enter
minute to
your
vote?
votes. If no vote,
Okay, yeah. we've
Looks
heard
like it's
that
almost
before.
time. You two should head back.
What about
Not
you?
going. I'm worried about Quark.
But you're a solo. If you don't vote,
You don't. Well, it'll be auto ally, right?
I'll automatically ally.
Okay.
I know.
Well, I mean, that's honestly that's the way everybody should do it. Is they should just not allow people to vote, right? So that way everyone auto allies, and then after 3 rounds, everyone has the points they need.
I heard the voice on the intercom just like you.
I mean, that's the way you would do this. If they were saying, I mean, it would be a very boring game, but it would kind of take out a lot of the tension of the storytelling. But if you were smart, that's the way you would do it. Is you would just not allow anyone to vote. What are you going to do if Kay and Alice vote betray?
Nothing, I suppose. Just means I lost that round. I'd just be voting ally anyway. You know who my opponents are, right?
Yeah, you'd kill Alice.
Alice only has 1 BP left.
I mean, I don't know. You didn't have a problem betraying us, asshole.
If I pick betray and they chose ally, I'd kill her. I'm not so desperate to escape that I'm gonna kill someone for it.
We're in a position of dying
And
because
even
of
if
you.
I was, I can't leave Quark behind. You see? Doesn't matter if I go into the AB room or not. My vote's the same either way.
Oh, so now he's gonna be all noble, but when it was us, no, it was, slam that motherfucking betray button, dude. Trying to persuade him to leave would have been pointless. Alright, let's go vote.
Of course. You worry about yourself.
okay.
When we got to the warehouse, we found everyone else waiting for us. Clover doesn't look too happy. Well, not quite everyone. One other person was missing. Was it Dio? I didn't see him. Hey, where's Dio?
Take a look at the doors.
They're all closed. When we came here before, the only one on the far right was open.
And that would mean
He went in, I guess.
exactly.
That bastard. He'd probably been worried I might try and take the accelerator from him by force, so he's hidden himself in the AB room. Oh, that's smart. What a coward. I made up my mind to choose Alan no matter what, but part of me still had considered trying to jump Dio if he dropped his guard.
Where's Tenmyoji?
Oh,
He's abstaining. He's protest voting.
I see. Well, I guess that means I don't have to worry about him picking betray.
right. What will you guys be choosing then?
Obviously, they're going to betray.
Ally, of course.
Yeah, that's what you say.
Because my BP is 6, I assume.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because then he would have 9 and you wouldn't be able to leave.
As long as
Or he would be
Tenmyoji
able to
votes
leave.
ally, I can't choose betray. If I do, Kay's BP will go up to 9.
But what if he forces you?
Yeah, I mean, he is a robot.
You needn't worry. I would never do something so crass.
Uh-huh, yeah, whatever, Terminator.
Really?
Of course.
Then you don't need to go in there.
Excuse me?
Alice can vote by herself. Then we don't have anything to worry about, right?
Well,
Honestly, just don't let anyone vote. I mean, it's too late now that Dio's in there. He's kind of ruined it because he's an asshole.
I apologize, but
Why not?
I just can't. Shall we go, Alice?
Well,
Hold on a minute there.
that's hella suspicious. It's very sus. Alice scrambled to follow him, perhaps concerned that he would lock her out.
I hope Alice this is going to be okay.
Well, there's nothing we can do now. If Kay told the truth, she'll be fine.
5 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Time's almost up. Come on, Luna.
Right.
They headed off at a trot towards the second room from the right, and were soon out of sight inside it. Alright, Clover, time for us to go.
Okay. Right behind you.
Okay, let's go.
What are you gonna do?
We got an ally, right? Unless, do you think the game's gonna pull a fast one on me? And like, you know, if you like do all this stuff where it's like, oh, you've got an ally, and then it like, you know, reverses it on you. So where if you pick ally, you get like a bad end or something. I don't really have a choice, do I? There's only one thing I can do. I'm gonna choose ally.
You can't!
Okay, Clover, we're not all
You'll
murderers.
die!
Well, you never know. Just because Dio told us to ally doesn't necessarily mean he's going to pick Betray.
Do you really think a jerk like that is going to choose ally if he doesn't have to? No. No way. He's got 6 BP right now. If he picks Betray, then he'll have 9 points.
Well, they're not gonna just let him leave and trap everyone else here. What about you?
Huh?
You've got 6 BP too, right? If Dio chose ally and we choose Betray, then you'd have 9 BP.
What?
Yeah, see, we're
No,
on to you.
That's not... I
Don't
didn't
listen
even
to
realize
Clover's
that until
lies.
you brought it up.
Oh, bullshit.
I'm just trying to tell you that Dio is going to pick Betray. That's
Yeah.
who he is.
No, I'd rather die than let Clover win, so... I've made up my mind, we're allying. The only choice is ally. It's the only chance we have to get that medicine
That's
back.
why Dio called you an IG.
IG? Oh, idiot
What makes
guy.
you think he's going to give us the Excelavir, even if you do what he says?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he won't, but I can't guarantee that he'll destroy it. But I can guarantee that he'll destroy it if I pick Betray.
Fine. If you aren't gonna listen to me, then I guess I don't have a choice. I'll be pushing that button.
No you're not. Before I realized what was going on, Clover ducked past me and ran towards the voting machine. Deck her, please. Punch her for me. Stop! I snatched her by the arm and hauled her backward with all my strength.
Ow!
Sorry. Guess that was a little too hard, huh?
Hey! What do you think you're doing? You can't just throw a girl around like that.
He just did, so... Well, you're the one who tried to trick me.
But you're gonna die! Dio's going to kill you! You can't do this! I don't want you to die.
Bullshit. Dude, you just can't trust Clover. She's evil, man.
10 seconds remain until Ambidex
Every
game
time,
polling closes.
it's like until the last possible second. I guess give it as much tension as possible. It means a lot to hear you say that, Clover, even though you're a lying bitch. I gave her my best reassuring nod and turned to face the polling machine, and then I betrayed
3,
Dio's ass.
2, 1.
I mean, you got... Fine, we're gonna ally, and the game's gonna screw me over.
Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed.
You just die instantly.
Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation.
I mean, this is a good cliffhanger,
Ambidex
but
gates
I think
now
we'll at
open.
least see what the results are. I mean, they're not gonna kill us, dude. There's no way. For several long moments, we just stared at one another. Words weren't necessary. Everything she would have tried to tell me, I could already see in her eyes. Let's go. I turned and headed towards the results screen.
Sigma.
I heard her behind me, her voice barely louder than a whisper. The choice was already made. I stood up straight and kept walking. Oh, will we die? So it's Kay and Alice betray. Wow, what an asshole. Allah. Oh, no. So wait, do we die now?
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed.
God, I knew in the back of my head the game was gonna do that.
Please check your bracelet to see
But at the same
your
time, it's
updated
like
bracelet points.
-1.
What?
Sigma's BP is...
Negative.
Maybe they were just joking about the BP stuff. I felt their weight, but I stood my ground. It was the result I had expected. I took a deep breath and closed my eyes. I should have saved. I thought about saving, but, you know, kind of forgot at the moment. I didn't have to wait long. There was a sharp, quick pain in my wrist, barely even noticeable. I couldn't feel anything flowing into my veins, but I knew it was there. First would be the anesthetic Soparil. I blinked and my vision started to blur. When I tried to think, it felt like my mind had been stuffed with cotton. My legs began to wobble, and then gave out entirely as I crumpled to the floor.
Sigma! Sigma!
Kill Dio for me.
Hang on! Hey! Sigma! Get up!
Sigma!
Oh
Dude, Dio's like bolting for the door right now because you're all dumb.
no! Oh no, oh no, oh no!
Trying to open my eyelids is like trying to lift sheets of lead. My eyes had lost their ability to focus, but I couldn't make out a blur that it had to be Dio in front of the number 9 door. Damn it. You'll keep your promise, goddammit. I groaned and with a Herculean effort lifted my head and then my sluggish body off the floor. Every step was a battle, and then when I shifted my weight to my muscles threatened to give out again. But somehow I forced myself ahead, a single thought burning in my mind. Murdering Dio, yes. I would reach Dio. Then at last. The smudge of color faded into a recognizable person. I threw up my hands in front of him. Give it back. Give me the medicine.
Give it back. Don't act like it's yours. Are we supposed to share everything we find here?
I don't care. Just hand me the medicine.
What are you talking about?
Yep, murder Dio for us. We found the Excelavir. In the laboratory.
And Dio stole it.
What?
Terminate him, Kay.
You mean he has it? Right now?
Yeah. So?
I kept my promise. Now you. I wasn't a fool. I knew the kind of person Dio was. There was a chance he wouldn't give us back the Excelavir. If he didn't, then I'd die with my hands around his throat. I gathered as much of my mind as I could and got ready to attack.
Fine.
Not quite what I've been expecting.
Here.
With a shrug, he pulled the vial out of his pocket and tossed it toward me. I don't know if he's able to catch it. Okay, he did catch it. The label said unmistakably Excelavir. It was the real thing. I held it out towards her.
Right. Of course.
She quickly tucked it into her pocket. Good. Now at least Quark will be alright. With that, the last of my strength left me, and I dropped to my knees. Murdered you.
Sigma, are you okay?
If you don't, we'll haunt you from the grave.
Sigma! Sigma!
I guess this is it.
First is the Soparil, which put you to sleep. 9 minutes later, the Tubocurare
Of course
is
it's
injected,
9.
numbing your respiratory muscles. I guess you could say it'll really take your breath away.
Maybe it was just a prank, dude. 9 minutes. Once the Soparil was injected, I had 9 minutes until the muscle relaxed and followed it. About 4 minutes had already passed. Actually, I think it's been longer than that. What could I do in 5 minutes? How could I save myself? I gave a raspy, quiet laugh. Even with death staring me in the face, I seemed to be determined to struggle right until the very end. Okay, Sigma. You can do this. We can do what? Clinging desperately to what little consciousness I had left, I racked my brain for any possible solutions. How could I save myself? How? There had to be something. I don't think there is, dude. Every problem, no matter how difficult, has a solution. There's always another option. Hopelessness is a state of mind. I just had to think. Think. If there was a way out, I'd find it. I wasn't ready to give up on my life yet. There had to be an answer. The black screen makes me think there's not an answer. To be continued. So, that isn't actually a bad ending. Okay. We're gonna have to like talk a little bit about the way endings work in this game. It's similar. We never really encountered it in the original game, but basically some of the endings are gated behind events in other paths. Can't really talk about it too much without getting into spoilers, but basically if we had betrayed there, we would have gotten a shorter bad ending. Now, I don't exactly know, so that basically means we're at our first like stopping point. Like you can for all intents and purposes that is a bad ending in the sense that we need to like go back and start over. Like oh god, this is hard with my left hand. But yeah, so see we're on the middle path, and as you can see it continues onward, but we have to hit an event in one of the other routes that will unlock this. And this right here is a bad end, I believe. But so what we'll probably do in the next video is we will start back at here. Where is this again? Where we pick our first doors? I'll go ahead and click on it. Because if I don't, it'll take me back to the title screen. So we will decide what door we go through for our second route in the next video, as I try and save with my left hand. Ah, man. Yeah, because this video, it's pretty long. Yeah, I'm McCheese87. Stay tuned for the next part, and bye, guys. As I remember that I cannot hit the stop recording key with this game. For some reason, you have to manually go over to OBS and hit stop recording. I don't know why it doesn't work with OBS. Neither did the first Zero Escape game. It's weird.